He occupies your thoughts unexpectedly, even when he no longer speaks to you. This person, though long absent from your life, seems to reside permanently in a corner of your mind. It feels as if there is something more, an inexplicable and invisible connection that continues to pulse without any messages, calls, or contact. This leads to the inevitable question of whether this is merely nostalgia. You wonder if he senses this connection as well. You question if the universe is attempting to send you a sign. Above all, you ask yourself why you simply cannot move on. If this is your experience, understand that you are not losing your mind. There's an explanation for these feelings and a method to change your situation. What you are experiencing could be a combination of an energetic link, an emotional pattern, and possibly even an unconscious form of manifestation. The crucial task now is to comprehend the true meaning behind these feelings and to transform them into clarity and personal strength. This exploration is based on Carl Jung's principles of energy, focus, and vibration, presented in a simple and direct manner to genuinely assist you. It is time to understand what the persistent thought of this person is truly revealing. More importantly, it is time to understand what it reveals about you. The reality of what you feel is often hard to articulate. There are sensations we experience that we cannot logically explain. You attempt to occupy your mind, distract yourself, socialize, and engage with other people, yet he always returns to your thoughts. Regardless of how much time has elapsed or how many times you have tried to forget him, the feeling remains unchanged. It is like an invisible cord that consistently pulls your thoughts back toward him. This experience, however, is not just a case of nostalgia. It also does not inherently mean he is the love of your life. What is truly occurring is a matter of focus. Where you direct your attention is where you invest your energy. According to Carl Jung, this principle is the very foundation of how we construct our reality. Therefore, if you're constantly thinking about him, even in his physical absence, you are effectively nourishing a connection to his energy. This is not done with malicious intent, but rather out of habit, emotion, and intensity. That energy is not passive. It vibrates, it creates, and it attracts. Sometimes you think about someone so intensely that you feel they must be thinking of you too, even without any tangible evidence. This can be true, as an energetic exchange from shared intense moments can continue silently. However, it is vital to ask a critical question. Is this thought a genuine connection, or is it a reflection of an inner emptiness you have yet to address? Many people mistake intense emotional attachment for intuition. They believe feeling something so strongly is a sign of destiny or profound meaning. This is not always the case. Sometimes, it is simply your mind seeking the comfort of familiarity, repeating what it already knows, even if it was a source of pain. This is why it is essential to understand what is keeping you tethered to that thought. Without this clarity, you risk remaining trapped in a cycle that leads nowhere, merely keeping you in the same emotional space. The question to consider is whether this is truly about him or about what he represents. Occasionally, the pain is not about losing the individual, but about losing the feeling you experienced when you were with them. Your mind then attempts to relive that feeling, as if you could recreate the past through thought alone. The past, however, cannot be brought back. The energy you continuously invest in someone who has already departed is the same energy you should be investing in yourself. A rarely spoken truth can change everything. Thinking about someone constantly is not necessarily a sign of a spiritual connection. It might just be your mind attempting to repeat what is familiar. The brain favors familiarity, even when that familiarity is painful, preferring a known pattern over the void of the unknown. Herein lies the trap for many people. You must distinguish whether you're trying to manifest this person back into your life or merely reliving an emotional cycle that was never properly concluded. There's a significant difference between manifesting and holding on. Manifesting is characterized by lightness, conscious intention, and trust. Reliving a cycle, conversely, means being stuck in an emotional loop where nostalgia becomes a sense of lack and desire transforms into attachment. Carl Jung posited that our thoughts trigger our emotions, which in turn create a bodily chemistry to which we can become addicted. This implies you might be, without realizing it, addicted to the sensation that man produced in you. The addiction is not to him, but to the emotional chemistry your mind associated with him. This is why, even after he is gone, your body still craves that feeling. The thoughts persist because they activate an emotion your body has learned to desire. The most effective way to break this cycle is to ask yourself honestly what you feel when you think of him. If the answer is distress, anxiety, fear of loss, or emptiness, then it is not manifestation but repetition. It is your body trying to relive something that has ended because it does not yet know how to feel secure in something new. When you start to feel peace just by imagining something healthy, light, and new, you're truly beginning to manifest. You stop repeating what once caused pain and start creating what you genuinely want to experience. This process begins with emotional clarity, which only arrives when you choose to truly listen to yourself. When discussing the law of attraction, many imagine it as simply thinking positively and waiting for the universe to deliver. The truth is that attraction is always happening, responding not to what you want, but to what you vibrate. This is the secret. It is futile to desire a light-hearted love if, deep down, you are still vibrating with the anxiety of wanting to be chosen. It is pointless to ask for a true relationship if you are vibrating with the insecurity of not feeling adequate. The law of attraction is not about forcing reality to conform to your wishes. It is about aligning yourself with what you want to experience. To align means to become the person who is already prepared to live that kind of love. Carl Jung spoke extensively about this concept. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. This means you must begin to feel now what you wish to experience in the future, a practice that requires presence, awareness, and decision. Consider a powerful exercise. Try to imagine a relationship where you feel completely safe, respected, and free to be yourself. Imagine this relationship already exists without needing to assign it a name or a face. Just feel it. Allow your body to become accustomed to this new emotional frequency because your body must learn to feel it before it can see it. When you start vibrating with this new energy of worthiness, lightness, and true love, you become magnetic. It is as if you become a natural magnet for everything that matches this new version of you. At that point, he will either align with that frequency or make space for someone new who is more aligned with who you truly are. The truth is, often what we miss is not the person, but the way we wanted to be loved by them. Once you understand this, you stop searching for it in others and start creating it within yourself. When you operate from a place of awareness, presence, and clarity, the law of attraction simply responds. It responds not because you asked for it, but because you became it. This is where many people wonder if he thinks about them too. This question is so human and so real. When we feel a strong connection, even in silence, it seems as though the other person must feel it too. Sometimes this is accurate. Energy is a two-way street. When two hearts have vibrated intensely together, something can continue to echo for a time, even without direct contact. This may manifest in peculiar ways. You might dream of him unexpectedly, hear a song that seems to speak directly about your connection, or feel a sudden sense of his presence despite his distance. These signs can be genuine, but they can also be your own energy seeking confirmation of something unresolved. The most important question is what you do with this feeling. Knowing whether he is thinking of you does not alter your current reality. It does not change the fact that he is not present, not messaging, and not showing up. Instead of trying to decode the invisible, the most powerful action you can take is to change the question. Instead of asking if he is thinking of you, ask how you feel when you think of him. Does it uplift you, or does it drain you? The universe does not respond to what you hope for. It responds to what you vibrate. When you stop chasing signs and start focusing on clarity, everything shifts. If something is meant to be, it will unfold effortlessly. If it is not, it will move away from your path. What is truly yours never demands that you lose yourself trying to understand someone else. Real intuition feels light, not desperate. A genuine connection brings peace, not anxiety. When you feel a constant pressure to know, to understand, or to confirm, you're likely operating more from fear than from intuition. Once you have realized that constantly thinking of him may have more to do with you than with him, the question becomes what to do next. How do you handle a feeling that will not leave? Logical understanding is not enough. The heart does not have an off switch, but it does have direction. When you choose where to send that energy, everything begins to change. The feeling you have, whether it is nostalgia, pain, confusion, or desire, is energy in motion. Energy that is not welcomed becomes a blockage. When you embrace and transform it, it becomes strength. The first thing you can do is to stop fighting what you feel. Feeling is not a weakness. It is raw material. How you handle it determines whether it traps you or sets you free. A simple yet powerful practice is writing. Take a piece of paper and write down everything you would want to say to him, completely uncensored and unfiltered. This is not for sending, but for releasing. This practice removes a weight from your body and give a voice to what was stuck inside. Sometimes we need to hear our own words to understand what we truly feel. Another helpful action is to shift your focus. Instead of expending energy trying to understand him, ask yourself what you need right now. Ask yourself what you are lacking and what you are projecting onto his absence. This is when you begin to do the one thing that changes everything. You return to yourself. You take care of your energy, your space, and your own glow. You listen to yourself again, you see yourself, and you love yourself. The more you strengthen yourself, the less you need someone else to feel complete. There is also a visualization technique that can be very helpful. Before sleeping, imagine yourself living an amazing new chapter of your life. Picture high self-love, easy laughter, and lighthearted people around you. Create that scene as if it is already happening. This practice effortlessly reprograms your vibration. When you feel good, you stop seeking those that do not make you feel good. The feeling does not disappear overnight. When you change the path through which it flows, it stops hurting and starts guiding you towards something greater than this chapter that may already be over. Remember that it is okay to have difficult days. The goal is not to force positivity. It is about honoring what you feel while choosing not to remain stuck there. Allow yourself to feel, but do not allow yourself to live from that place. When you begin reconnecting with yourself, something magical occurs. Your energy shifts. Without even trying, you become more attractive. This is not a forced attraction, nor is it because you're trying to seduce anyone. It is because you are vibrating with confidence, presence, and truth. This is what truly attracts a genuine partner. Seduction has nothing to do with chasing, overexposing yourself, or trying to prove your worth. True seduction happens on an invisible level. It is embodied by the woman who enters a room and says nothing, yet her presence is felt by everyone because she is not trying to be noticed. She already knows who she is. First, protect your energy above all else. Nothing is more beautiful than a woman who feels good about herself. When you radiate inner confidence, you automatically become magnetic. Second, value silence and mystery. Mystery is attractive. When you reveal everything, show everything, and chase after him, you give away your power. When you remain centered and without anxiety, you leave the other person curious, interested, and engaged. Lastly, demonstrate presence, not lack. Your presence is your introduction. If you show up with lightness, good humor, and no sense of urgency, that is irresistible. Most people show up begging for validation. You do not need that. If you want to know whether he truly cares about you, observe his actions. A man who is interested will show it. He will not confuse you, disappear, or play games. He will come closer. He will want to be near you. Real love does not require effort. It fits. If it does not fit, it is because something better is on its way. When you stop hiding behind the fear of losing, you finally start to be seen for who you really are. Then there is no effort, only magnetism. Authenticity is always more attractive than any strategy. In the end, everything comes down to your choice. When you stop chasing answers in someone else and start truly listening to yourself, you realize what was really missing was never him. It was you. It was your own gaze turning inward. It was your self-love waiting to be reawakened. There is nothing stronger, more seductive, or more magnetic than a woman who chooses herself. She is a woman who knows what she feels but does not drown in it. She acknowledges a connection but does not lose herself in it. She can love deeply but never stops loving herself first. That woman does not beg for attention. She attracts it. She does not wait to be chosen. She chooses. She does not wait to be noticed. She shines. When you choose yourself, everything begins to align. People who are not on your frequency naturally move out of your way. Situations that once felt heavy start to lose their grip. Slowly, the weight of the past becomes lighter. Something stronger is now guiding you. It is your presence, your awareness, and your decision to live something new. You do not need external guarantees to believe the right love will come. You just need to choose not to abandon yourself. Every time you respect your feelings, embrace yourself in difficult moments, and choose to move forward with lightness, you make room for what is real. If the man lingering in your thoughts is part of your path, he will return. He will return not because you waited, but because you moved forward with so much truth that the universe aligned a meeting. If it is not him, it will be someone who truly sees you. It will be someone in the same rhythm, the same energy, and with the same level of devotion that you deserve. In the end, it is not about him. It is about you. When you choose yourself, everything changes. When you honor yourself, everything transforms. When you decide you deserve real light and deep love, the universe moves to give it to you. The magic is not in controlling others. It is in being so whole within yourself that only what aligns with that wholeness can come close. That is true freedom. It is not needing anyone to be happy, but being open to sharing that happiness with someone who truly deserves it.